Hello, welcome back to another video. This is the second video. I know it's been a few weeks since the last one, but here we are ready to update the bulk again. So today is January 6th, I believe, January 6th, so New Year. It's a Tuesday. I've got a lower tonight, so that will be the workout tonight that you're going to see later is going to be lower, so it's going to be another leg day. And then later in this week, I'm going to record another video. It'll either be push or pull, so I'll change it up a little bit. But tonight we got lower, and I wanted to take another few minutes, talk about a few more things that I've been thinking about lately, especially to do with the gym. So what do I want to focus on in today's video? The main thing that I want to focus on today is preparation, right? How do you prepare for a good gym session? Because in fact, a good gym session is determined by how you prepare for it. If you prepare like shit, if you don't try at all, if you just, don't sleep, don't eat, nothing, you're not going to have a good gym session. There are certain things that you can do to have a better session or to increase your chances of having a good session, because you could have the best preparation in the world, but if you go into the gym lazy, not in the right mindset, nothing, then you're not going to have a good session. But there are I really think there's three things that you can do, and I always consider them. I call them the big three. The first one of the three is sleep. Not that sleep is more important than the other two, but I'm just going to talk about it first. Sleep cannot be overstated how important it is. The difference in how you're going to feel the next day if you sleep 8-9 hours versus 5-6 hours is massive. 8 hours of sleep is what you should be getting. Listen, 7, it's good enough. You know what I mean? It's good enough. But you should definitely shoot for 8 hours of sleep. If you sleep 8 hours, the next day you're going to feel more energetic, more ready to go. In the gym, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel a difference. Sleep is one of those things that a lot of people struggle with, and it's hard to keep it under control, and it's hard to, maintain good sleep. But it is really, 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 I would say, one of those big three that you just can't go without. And it takes discipline. It really does. It takes discipline to go, okay, I got to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Well, it's 9:30 right now. I could stay on my phone, hang out, watch something, or I should go to sleep to make sure that the next day I am going to have a good session. Not only are you going to have a good session, but sleep is where muscle is built. When you recover is where you grow. Sleep cannot be overstated. It cannot be overstated how important sleep is. That's sleep. Let's move on. Hydration. Hydration is not limited to water. Yes, you should be drinking water pretty much at all times of the day, or you should try to think about it all the time. Especially if you're taking creatine where you need to be drinking water. Not only should you be drinking water, you should also try to get some sort of electrolytes in the system, whether that's a Gatorade Zero or one of my favorite is Liquid IV. This is what I use, either Liquid IV or it's called Element. Two different companies, but basically, drinking these electrolytes pre-workout, I would say it doesn't exactly matter when, as long as you're having it at some point pre-workout, maybe like a few hours before or even the morning of, as long as you're getting water in you through the whole day and you're drinking some kind of electrolyte source, some kind of sodium source. That's one of the other big three that's definitely going to play a role. And let's move on to the third one. The third one is fueling food. Probably the most important one. Yes, I'm in a bulking state right now. 140 days into a bulk. So I'm eating at all times. I'm eating clean. But the most important thing and what I want to focus the bulk of this video on, the majority of this video, is pre-workout carbs and carb timing. I got home at 12 o'clock. I had a big meal, chicken, rice, some bread, right? I had that meal, and about 2 hours later, I'm going to train, right? About 30 minutes before the training, because I got to let that food digest. If you're having a big meal like that, it needs to digest. You cannot eat like that and then go straight into the gym. That's not going to be optimal for you. What you're going to want to do is about 30 minutes to an hour before your workout, you are going to want to consume some fast digesting carbs that are going to get you energized and ready for the gym. 50 to 100 grams is a general range that I would state. 50 to 100 grams. I personally do closer to 100, especially during the bulk where I have more calories to work with, so to speak. I'm placing a lot of emphasis on this. So what are fast digesting carbs? A slow digesting carb would be something like oats, cream of rice, pasta, rice, bread. Fast digesting carbs, however, so those slow digesting carbs, you may want to have at at least an hour and a half before your workout, preferably 2 hours, maybe a little 2.5 hours. Fast digesting carbs, however, you're going to want to have, like I said, 30 minutes to an hour before. Ideally, that's a perfect window for you to consume them at. So what are fast digesting carbs? Fruits. Anything that's a fruit is a fast digesting carb. Mango, strawberries, I'm about to consume them, I'm about to go lift within the next 30 minutes. Perfect. Rice cakes. Rice cakes are perfect. You could get regular rice cakes, or the lightly salted ones, or chocolate rice cakes. Put honey on there. I usually do 21 grams of honey, which is equal to 17 grams of carbs, and a bunch of rice cakes, like 3 of them. So that's about 50, 60 grams of carbs. And then the fruits, that'll take me to 100. What else am I going to do? I'm also going to consume another food, which is Rice Krispies. Rice Krispie treats are not enough. One of them is not enough alone. Even 2 of them, debatably, is not enough, because that's 2 of them would be around 36 grams of carbs, but you want to push more than that. So something like fruits and a Rice Krispies, or rice cakes with honey and a Rice Krispie treat, that would be more optimal. So you're going to do around, so for me, based off what I just said, I'm going to be doing about 100 grams of carbs about 30 minutes before the lift. Perfect. I think that is definitely the best way to go about it, because you're going to feel more energized, and those carbs are going to be put to good use as you're just before training. You don't want to be too bloated going into the training. That's why I recommend having your big meal, which is, you should have a big meal. That's why I recommend having your big meal about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. 2 hours is, I would say, that's the place that I find is the best. So, like I said, a bunch of fast digesting carbs, such as rice cakes with honey, fruits of any kind, Rice Krispie treats. I would say those are the big ones that I would consider. And then in terms of hydration, we're tracking back water the whole day, something like electrolyte source, Liquid IV, Gatorade, LMNT, things like that. And of course, sleep, which is going to take discipline. If you really want to take your training to the next level, you want to take your physique to the next level, dialing in on sleep, even if you have to wake up at early times. I have to wake up at 6 a.m. every day. I'm still able to dial in on my sleep, because that's how much I want to give to the gym, that I have to prioritize certain things over others. And I'm willing to do that, because I know that getting that sleep is worth it, and it's going to help me. So I'm going to do everything that I can to optimize my performance in the gym. So to optimize my performance in the gym, those are the big 3 things: sleep, hydration, and fueling, aka food. Another thing is, you can have all those things in check. How else can you help yourself? Pre-workout. Now, a lot of people talk about pre-workout as something that you shouldn't be consuming. But for me, it's simple. If I have a way to optimize my performance in the gym even more, I'm going to take it. Obviously, you should not be consuming caffeine like crazy. You shouldn't be taking triple scoop, double scoop before every single workout. However, you should be taking pre, as it will objectively benefit your performance due to its ingredients, and caffeine will get you, ready for the workout, so to speak. So there's no reason not to take pre, in my opinion. If it's going to help me, I'm going to take it. Obviously, again, I'm not going to abuse it and, God forbid, have some issues later down the line. However, if it's going to help me, I'm going to do it. For me, it's simple as that. And the other thing is, the last thing, which, like I said, everything can be perfect. You could take your pre-workout, you could drink water all day, you could eat all day, you could sleep perfectly. If you are not mentally prepared to go to the gym and mentally prepared to give it your all, because it is that important. It is that important to go into the gym with a positive mindset. If you're not ready to do that, you're not going to have a good workout. If I come to the gym and I'm not really focused, I'm just thinking about other things, thinking about something that happened in school, something that happened at work, anything like that, you're not going to be in a right mindset to progress and to go hard and to lift with intensity. I'll come to the gym right now. I'm going to take my pre-workout once I get there, just because it's legs, so I need more time to warm up. So it's okay to take pre-workout at the gym, as long as, I would say you should be taking it around 20 to 30 minutes before, because it does take that amount of time to kick in. But for me today, I'm going to be able to take it when I get there, and then still have enough time for it to kick in by my first working set, so to speak. So I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to hop in the sauna for just about 5 minutes, fully clothed, just to get the blood moving, so to speak, because I'm going to get a little warm, get the blood flowing, and I'm going to take my pre-workout. When I'm sitting in there, or even right now as I'm heading to the gym, as you're in your car, as you're on your bike, as you're walking, you're going to imagine yourself doing the sets. You're going to envision what you're about to do, because you have to give every set that you do in the gym, you have to give it respect. Every single workout, you have to give it respect. You cannot go in with a blank mindset. You have to go in there focused on what your goal is and focused on what you want to achieve from that specific session. I'm going to envision the sets that I'm doing. I have a certain focus of what I want to progress on, what I want to dial in on, certain things that I want to go hard on. It's all about your mindset. Everything could be perfect, but if you go in there lazy, you're not gonna have a good workout, and it's not gonna be good in the long run. So, sleep, fueling, hydration, quick digesting carbs. We talked about that. Pre-workout, mindset, and getting the zone. Another thing is, how else can you benefit your workout? Music. A good song can change a set. A good song can change a workout. I back that with my life. If I put some crazy music on and I got a really heavy set and I'm in the zone mentally and I've prepared properly with the big three, I'm gonna have a good set. I'm gonna have a good workout. Get some fire music on, even pre-workout as you're heading to the gym. Get some fire music on, get in the zone, think I'm about to do this right now. And as you're hearing the music, you're gonna get hyped up. It's all part of it. All of these things are gonna help you do better. Mindset is probably the most important, but mindset also ties into other things, such as having the mindset, having the mentality to go to sleep early, having the mentality to maybe eat when you don't want to if you're in a bulking context. So things like that. Like I said, those are the main things. We're about to go into lower, day 140 of the bulk, sitting at around 196 to 198 body weight. I'm really trying to push 200. So we're going to do lower today. Lower is a more hamstring focused day for me. So there will be RDL action. There will be laying curls, seated curls action, and there will be some quad work, but not as much volume as on other days. And calves at the end for sure. So I will try to show as much as possible. But like I said, for me, it's just now this far into the bulk, the food's not enjoyable necessarily, but what am I doing every single workout is I'm making sure that I'm prepared for the workout with those things that I just talked about, because those are the things that are going to help you succeed in the gym, which in the long term is obviously going to lead to more gains. So about to take pre-workout, about to consume these quick digesting carbs, as I said, and I'm about to get in the mindset for the workout, and I'm going to go and perform. I have had the proper preparation, so, there's no doubt that it'll be a good workout. That's all. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to smash it, and you guys will see it. Well, that's it. Just like that, 3 hours later, almost to the minute. And no, I wasn't in the gym for 3 hours. That included still getting ready for the gym, getting there, warming up, the workout, and getting home. Whatever. Point is, 3 hours later, the workout is done. What can I say? It was a great leg day. I showed a lot of the sets that I did just now, especially that second set of pendulum squats. The last rep I was really happy with, was able to grind it out. But what can I say? To bring it back to what I was saying at the start of the video, I truly believe that progressing on almost every single set today, damn near every set, was due to my preparation, due to my sleeping last night and the night before, due to my hydration and drinking electrolytes and drinking water, and due to my food and the fast adjusting carbs, as I mentioned earlier. I can attribute my success in the gym today to what I did before to prepare, as well as my mindset going in there, and just showing up and performing. Because at the end of the day, I'm in a bulking phase. Every single workout, I have to push to the max. I have to push to progress, and I did. So what can I say? It was a great leg day. I hope you enjoyed it. And later this week, either push or pull. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about some workout splits and my current workout split, how my splits have developed through my lifting journey, and what should I really be focusing on during my current split, so to speak. But that's just a little sneak peek for the future. But hope you enjoyed the leg day. Hope you enjoyed this chat at the start. And let me know in the comments, please, if there's anything you guys would like me to talk about, specifically any experiences that I've had or any questions that you may have. And I love going on tangents, so I'll definitely find something to talk about. See you later.